is Pamela KUHN, and the curtain is up on Center Stage, the show about the arts and the artists behind their work. There are some of us for whom the title Star Wars starts the dopamine rush. And my guest today would be one of those members of that secret club which honors the excitement and the legacy that Star Wars gives us. Matt Mickelson is the guy who holds the hero's journey close to his own heart. But he has an extra superpower.
What?
He is a cameraman, a screenwriter, and a filmmaker. And his passion project, the Han Solo Chronicles, his own personal film project, has been his testament to the Star Wars legacy and to his own sense of truth. I have Matt with me today. He has been my partner in crime so often on WGCH Talk Radio and my podcast on Center Stage with Pamela KUHN. He is here in the flesh today to discuss his work exclusively. Good afternoon, Matt Mickelson.
How are you? Thanks for having all this set up for me.
Yeah, elves came in earlier and did this
Yeah, they're
for
handy.
us.
You know, not just for Christmas.
We're doing okay. So let's talk about Han Solo Chronicles. You know,
Sure.
whenever you and I meet, we usually have like, okay, we're going to talk about nothing, and it turns into something, and we have a great time, and we laugh, and we hoo-ha. But today it's all about you. So I'm dying to know, what was the genesis of this project, the Han Solo Chronicles?
Winter of 2014, winter break, my kids were off. They were 11 and 12 or 11 and 13 at the time, I think. They're bored, you know, nothing to do. And they come to me in my office, I'm picking away at something, and they're like, can we play with the green screen?
What do you do when it's the dead of winter break and your little girls come up to you and say,
Dad, we're bored. Can we make a Star Wars movie?
I'm like, it's a lot of work for Dad. So
Is it? Is it really
Yes.
setting up a green screen? Is that?
yeah, it's
Wow.
a schlep, you know. And plus, I'd been meaning to learn it better, you know, and become more proficient at it. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay, but let's make this interesting. Let's do like a little, maybe like Han Solo and his kids getting in trouble, you know, and I'll put the cockpit behind us and stuff. It'll be fun, you know. And they're like, all right, you know, as long as they get to play with the green screen. Go.
Dad, look out!
Hey, okay, one more time, without the laughing.
Okay, Carmen. Very serious. Okay. I didn't think
Okay, go.
Hey, you shot first.
Well, yeah, but if your mother asks, I shot second.
Should we shoot first?
By all means. Just don't tell your mom. All right, go that way.
After they see how much work it is to put it up and light it and all this stuff, I told them we got to find, you know, squirt guns and stuff around the house, and, you know, we'll make them look like our blasters and our guns, and we did a little tiny little scene of us like at the cockpit, you know, going somewhere, you know. So I just wrote a quick thing of like, okay, kids, now we're going to this place, and we just got back from that place. Just basic, simple
Right.
dialogue is, you know, what do you say when you get in the car and you're going somewhere, you know? You strapped in?
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be a fun trip. What could go wrong, right? I took that, started working, trying to do the keying, which is getting all the green, because your key sheet is green, so you take all the green out and make sure nobody else is wearing green, or there'll be a floating head. So I started finding animated Star Wars ships on YouTube. People would have the Millennium Falcon going from point A to point B. You know, real crude stuff, but it was free to use.
Yeah.
And it was already keyed, so you could put it anywhere, you know. So then I would Google Starfield, and I would get a picture of a Starfield. And all of a sudden you got the Millennium Falcon going by. And then you find the image of the Millennium Falcon cockpit, and you could stick that behind you, and all of a sudden you're there. So I thought it'd be fun, you know, to show Grandma and put some Star Wars music on it and everything. And then all these like story ideas just started coming to me, just as far as, what would be a longer thing, what would be a longer story. And I put it on YouTube, like a little 5-10 minute thing, and it got kind of a huge response, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'm onto something. This is like 2015.
Wow.
And then I used animated stormtroopers that were really crude, to be the bad guys, and they looked like garbage, and people were like, how come you're not using real stormtroopers? I'm like, I don't know any, So I started searching YouTube once again in the internet for people who had costumes, and I found the 501st, which is like the Army Reserves for Star Wars nerds, because they can join the costume club, but they have to have everything at regulation. It has to be exact. It can't be like a purple stormtrooper outfit. It has to be movie correct.
Okay, okay.
But they get together and nerd out on equipment, but they also do things like go to kids' cancer wards. They show up at like Star Wars Day at a baseball game, and walk around, and they have a lot of fun doing this, and it's like their hobby. And, these are all just regular people, mechanics, teachers, whoever. Engineers mostly, because there are guys that build R2-D2s. Like they get a $5,000 kit and put it all together, and it's radio controlled. It's nuts. And I had no idea that kind of a thing existed.
I know. So this was like your entry into the world of all the Star Wars nerds out there that you could actually connect with, and hey, you've got more than you ever bargained for.
Well, I thought I was a little nerdy, because I like the movies and stuff, but I never went as far as to make anything Star Wars. I discovered a few years back that I could do Harrison Ford's voice pretty spot on. And also, because people would say, oh, you kind of look like Harrison Ford or Val Kilmer or Tom Hanks or Howdy Doody. It varies, so, or Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters.
No, let's take Howdy Doody and Rick Moranis out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Han Solo, yes.
And I just learned, if I just slowed down and brought my voice down and, talk like this kind of, and got his intonations correct, well, there you go.
I'll give you one guess who the decorator is. This is a bad idea. Let's just poke around, then we'll get out of here, okay? Just keep your eyes open.
It is quite customary to have a show of numbers.
Well, thanks for the reminder, Professor. I wasn't aware.
Well, really.
Let me see your identification.
It's in my other ship.
Well, Captain Solo, you managed to elude us again for a time. We were just going to dispose of you and your crew and take your ship.
Girls, get back to the ship! Run!
What was your main aim then? When you started to really develop this, I mean, the kids got the green screen out, you guys were having a good time, and then you thought, wow, I can do something with this. So what direction did you really want to lead us?
I moved to New York to be more of an actor, but the reality of family and mortgage and, the ridiculous amount of money it takes to survive around the city of New York, that quickly became, well, that's nice and everything, but, but, you have bills to pay. So acting sort of took a back seat, and my survival job of camera work kind of became my job. So when I get an opportunity to act, sometimes it's just me making something.
Navy, put that one right there. Set up the shield generators on our open flank. Keep the guns charged and be ready to come get us if we need you.
All right, Dad.
And keep your comm link on.
Right.
General Solo, the Imperial Party is expecting us shortly, sir.
These kids are going to be the death of us.
And opening that door up to other actor friends that might want to jump in. And sometimes those actor friends have things they want to bring you in on, and it goes back and forth because everybody likes working together. And hopefully you're able to give each other opportunities. With some projects that have money, some that don't, some is volunteer. And with the Han Solo Chronicles, everything had to be volunteer because Lucasfilm has a certain criteria that they like their fan filmmakers to follow if you're going to be using our IP to express your ideas.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So your hands are tied marginally.
A little bit.
But you know, it amazes me about how much you can get away with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible that you can actually even take this idea, you know, and go with it without the lawyer calling you and saying, okay, that's it.
Exactly.
I mean, it just blows my mind.
And that's the beauty of George Lucas. He understands that that's free advertising. You know, letting fans make fan work within reason is basically inviting everyone into his sandbox to play, as opposed to putting up walls all over the place and having lawyers, you know, bully your fans into not being fans anymore.
Right.
You know, because George understands, and a lot of people in Hollywood do not understand, this is not just an IP. This is almost a religion for some people, because the whole basis of Star Wars was that it used every story from every religion to tell the hero's story. Jesus, hey, poor guy, we need you to save the universe. Come with us. You know, that's the hero's journey. You're plucked out of obscurity. The Matrix, same deal. That's why this movie appeals to every culture, you know, across the planet. You know, that's why it was so huge. But the executives don't understand that. They just see the dollars, and that's all they care about. They don't understand why the dollars arrive.
This started out as like a 2-minute fun for grandma, and then it suddenly became something else.
Yeah.
And when did you realize that, hey, you know, let's make this a 30-minute project?
Well, I mean, I went and searched for real stormtroopers, because people on YouTube said, your stormtroopers look stupid, you know, or how come you're not using the right gun? And, you know, and because the gun was a squirt gun that I spray painted, put flashlight parts on.
So it's kind of like Galaxy Quest, when all the nerds on Earth are like, okay, we can help you because we really know, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I love that. I love that. Possibly one of the best films ever made.
Oh, yeah. See Galaxy Quest. But so I went out looking for real stormtroopers. I went to Comic-Con 2015.
Okay.
And I saw a couple of Mandos, Boba Fett type guys, the one with the helmet, and they were loading a R2-D2 into their van, you know, like criminals, you know. And first of all, I didn't know you could make a life-size R2-D2, let alone they were putting it in a van. And I'm like, hey guys, do you know any stormtroopers? And they're like, yeah, Ruiz is one, you know, this guy, you know, and so.
And did he come with his own, you know, complete outfit?
Yes, the stormtrooper costume starts at $1,200 in plastic pieces, not even assembled. Jeez. You have to put all the straps and stuff inside yourself to make it stick. You know, you're responsible for all the stuff. Just the plastic molding is $1,200. Good Lord. Back then. And so I asked these guys, look, I need a stormtrooper for some green screen shots because I have these animated ones. They're garbage. And they're like, well, do you need any Mandos? I'm like, what's that? That's how unnerdy I was. I didn't know what a Mando was necessarily. That's amazing. And they're like, we got a Boba Fett too. I'm like, what do you mean you got a Boba Fett? We got a guy who has the whole Boba Fett costume. It's like $10,000. And with the thing that goes, and so I went to his house with the green screen and had him do things, you know, because these guys got helmets. So if they need a line written in or something, we could always do the line later. Yeah. You know, like,
well, you're a sneaky one. You almost got yourself disintegrated.
Kind of like how they do Mandalorian. The actual actor that does Mandalorian isn't there most of the time. He's just doing the voice work. That's right. You know, and I'm still waiting him to do a Smokey and the Bandit sequel. But what? So, Pedro Pascal as Burt Reynolds. Come on, it's right there. Maybe it's on the table. Maybe. So that kind of started it all, and that's what made it boom, because when I would get a new character like Boba Fett, well, how can we fit him in here?
Do not fail me. We cannot have Captain Solo and his spawn escaping.
like you're 10 years old again. And let's go over to Stevie's house because he's got the complete kit.
Exactly.
So that guided you in how the story was going to lay out, really, initially.
Because Star Wars is super basic. You know, I mean, if Han Solo and his kids 15 years after Return of the Jedi are doing something, they're probably doing UNICEF work or UN work or light work because they got the kids with them.
Yeah.
And Leia's probably doing political stuff, you know, and just trying to keep Han out of trouble, going back to the smuggler stuff. Plus, he's a hero now, so he doesn't want to do the smuggler stuff. He's with the swells now, you know, so he wants to do legitimate work. And plus, you know, he's a father now, so he wants to protect his kids. So if he could keep them with him, awesome. You know, if he could raise his own, you know, kids, because remember, he didn't get that, you know, in his lore. He didn't have a family necessarily.
That's right.
Good morning, ladies. Sorry to get you up so early. Be great to have you here on time. I don't mind paying extra docking fees.
We'll be there in a sec. Lights!
We got a lot to do this morning before we take...
Hey, come now! We gotta go!
If their mother was here, they wouldn't be this late. Great.
So how would he handle that? Because he, in the movie, he's always very, you know, straightforward, you know, a little sarcastic, but...
It was about... No, it wasn't.
Nice of you to join us, Princess. You got everything? All right, let's go.
You knew exactly where he stood, and he was a pilot and a technician, so everything was very matter of fact.
Jump ships? We got to get back to the ship.
You know, there was no dancing around anything, or trying to wimp out, I guess, but he also knew that, you know, committing suicide was not a good idea either. You know, hence him not getting in an X-Wing to go do the Death Star thing. That's just silly, you know. He's a professional, he's an adult, he's not a kid with, you know, big ideas. So that was kind of easy for me as a dad to kind of step into, you know, and just throw Harrison's voice on it. And that's how I assume Harrison Ford, the man, would have handled that too, I guess. You know, because he's very into his, not legitimacy, but his
integrity.
Yeah. Harrison Ford, the actor, is very into his integrity. That's why he's not all over Hollywood whooping it up when he was young. He said, I'm getting a ranch and I'm getting out of here. I don't want to hang around with you weirdos. No, I don't want all the cocaine. Get away, you know.
That's right.
And he had the smarts, you know, like Robert Redford did that. Paul Newman did that.
Exactly.
All the greats, you know, said, adios, I got a ranch. I'll see you guys later. Call me for the next movie.
So let's talk about that, about your growth in this, Matt. I mean, this started out to be fun for Grandma. Now this has become, as you put it so eloquently, a thing. What's the end game?
The end game is to be able to screen this at Comic-Cons everywhere, because I want people to experience this on the big screen, because it feels very old school 1978 Star Wars. For me, it does. We're exporting to 8K, so it looks nice and crispy on a 90-foot screen, and we want that ship going over people's heads. You know, we don't want people going, "Yeah, it's cool," on their phone. You know, I don't want to do phone school. I want to do old school.
Love it.
Because phone school sucks.
That is our phrase for the day.
Yes.
I love that. Everyone, I want you to go for the Han Solo Chronicles. You're going to find this on YouTube. Everything you can find out about Matt Mickelson and his merry band of volunteers coming to make the Han Solo Chronicles so special.